Welcome back, Taylor. This is the lesson for lesson 105 in your math book. And today we are going to be talking about using proportions to solve percent problems. So I've got a little bit of a help aid here that will be able to help us work out our percentages into ratios. So we know that a percent can be expressed as a fraction with the denominator of 100. So if you have 40% of something, we know that it is 40 over 100. We can also set it up as a ratio. So that's what we're going to be doing that to find out missing numbers. So for example 1 on page 548, the problem says 30% of the cars in the parade are antique cars. If 12 vehicles are antique cars, how many vehicles are in the parade at all? So I set up my ratio box like this. And I'm going to fill this in. I know that there are 30 antique cars in the show. Okay? 30%. Now I know that when I'm talking about a percent, I'm talking about 100. So 30%, my total is 100. So I fill that in. Now the story problem says that there were 12 cars that were actually antique cars. So I'm going to put that in my spot over here with the antique cars, the actual number. I'm going to put 12. Now we don't know how many cars are not antiques. Oh, I skipped a spot. To find out the percentage of the not antiques, I need to say 30 plus what equals 100. And that's where I come up with 70. So that's where I get my 70% were not antique cars. Okay? Now, we do not know how many were not antique cars. So I'm just going to put the letter N right there. And I don't know the total number of cars altogether. So I'm going to put a T. Now, to figure this problem out, what I do is I do my cross multiplication. I put my ratio. I know that we had 30%. I'm going to do it this way. 30% of the cars were antique out of 100. Okay, that's how I get that right there. And then the same part of my ratio is there are 12 actual cars over the total, because I got to keep my boxes together. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put in some blanks. I'm going to write an equation here and as I cross multiply. So I have 30 times t, so 30t equals 12 times 100. And I have my equation right there. Now this is where we're going to go ahead and create a division problem, because I want to get t by itself. I don't want to leave that 30 with the t. I just want to know the total. So what I do, in essence, is I take the 12 times 100 and divide it by the 30 to get the t by itself. So I set it up as 12 times 100 over 30. And now I can go ahead and reduce this by saying 10 goes into 30 3 times. I cross that out. 10 goes into 100 10 times. Remember, we're reducing this. Now I can say 3 goes into 3 1 time, and 3 goes into 12 4 times. You've done this lesson before, so you know how to do it. So now I could take my 4 times 10 equals 40 and divide it by 1. So my answer, my total number of cars altogether was 40. Okay, that's right in your book, so I just wanted to explain that to you. Now let's look at this next one. Example 2. We're going to have some new numbers to play with this. It says only 40% of the team members played in the game. If 24 team members did not play, how many did play? Okay, so we got some new numbers. So we know that 40% of the team members played in the game. So I got my 40% in the played right there. And I know that if I'm talking about percentages, my total is going to be out of 100. So I put in my 100. Now, 40 plus what equals 100 to figure out what is the percentage of those that did not play. So the percentage of those that did not play is 60. So I put that in. Okay, so now I don't know how many students played yet. I'm going to erase that part. I don't know how many students played yet, but I do know that 24 students did not play. And then I don't know my total. Now this one, we're not trying to find the total. We're trying to figure out how many students did play. So our setup is going to be a little bit different. We're going to take the 40% who did play over the 60% who did not play. And that ratio is going to equal P equals, or P over 24. Okay? So that's your ratio setup. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to do your equation. So we have 60P equals 40 times 24. Okay? Now we're going to set up a division box like this. So I'm going to come over here to write that. Over here. So I want you to go ahead and write that out. I want you to say, okay, I want P by itself. So P equals 40 times 24 over the 60. So let's go ahead and reduce this. Let's go ahead and reduce this. So 10 goes into 60 6 times, and 10 goes into 40 4 times. Good. And then 6 goes into 6 1 time, and 6 goes into 24 4 times. So now I have my problem that I can set up. 4 times 4 divided by 1. So 4 times 4 is 16. So the total number of students who did play is 16. So my actual students who played are 16. Okay? Nice job. Now I'm going to erase this really fast, and we're going to go on to the next problem. This next problem's a little different because it talks about money, but we're going to use the same concept that we used to figure this out. Okay, so it says, buying the shoes on sale, Nathan paid $45.60, which was 60% of the full price. What was the full price of the shoes? So I have my percent, and I have my actual in my ratio box. And I'm going to put paid and saved, the money that he saved, and then my full price of everything. Okay, so there's my box. So in the story problem, we have a few things. We know that he paid 60% of the shoes. So my 60% goes right there. Okay, we're talking about percentages again. So my full price is 100%. I'm going to put that down there. My full price is 100%. Now, how much money did he save? So 60 plus what equals 100, and we get 40. He saved 40% on buying his shoes. So now what is the actual price that he paid for these shoes? That is right. He paid $45.60. Okay? We don't know how much money he saved, and we don't know the full price. So I'm just going to put those in. Okay? So what we want to find out was what was the full price of the shoes. So we're trying to find the total of what the full price of the shoes were. So I take my 60 over the 100, because I'm talking about how much he paid versus what is the total amount, equals the complete amount that he paid, $45.60, over F, the full amount. Okay? Now we're going to do a little bit of a shortcut with this. I'm going to write my equation of 60F equals, now I'm just going to put the number. I'm not going to go ahead and put $45.60 times 100. I'm just going to do that in my head. So my total cost is when I multiply it by 100, I get 44,560. Now, what I do is I take that 4,560 divided by 60. Okay? So, 4,560 divided by 60 equals, F equals 76. So my full price is $76. So the full price of the shoes was $76. Okay, that is it for this lesson. If you have any questions, let me know, and I can work you through this. Go ahead and look at the assignment that you're going to be doing for the lesson, and then get your answers for your practice set as well. All right, have a wonderful day, Taylor.